welcome back to my channel, Flamingo Homeschool. I'm Angela, and it's been a long day of working in the garden and outside all day, so I am going to get right to it. Today's video, I'm going to talk about what I do for our portfolio that I have to keep for the state of Florida. Obviously, these are state of Florida regulations, requirements, but even then, I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go on and research for yourself what are the requirements for your state so that you always know. The worst thing that could happen would be that you think you know and you didn't actually research it and you took somebody's advice online or on YouTube and you didn't have everything you need. So if you're in Florida, go to fpea.org, I believe it is. I'll try to link it below. And if you are anywhere else in the United States, or even if you're in Florida, you can go to hslda.org, and they have the requirements for every state, and they have a lot of knowledge on those websites and a lot of things that can really make your life easier for whatever your state requirements are, okay? So that being said, this is what I do for our portfolios. So what I do is I use the computer to manage our portfolios. Sorry, guys. Because my planner is usually a hot mess, okay? So I just have a ton of chicken scratch. I mean, you guys can see it's just a mess. So I would never want to turn that in because you could barely read it. So what I do is I create a log of educational activities, which is one of the requirements. You basically have to have a log of educational activities with a reading log on it or in it, and then samples of your child's work. So I have it labeled log of educational activities. That way, whoever's reading it, whatever evaluator knows, that's the log of educational activities, right? So the first thing that I do personally is I make a list of, you know, some of our major curriculums that we're using or things like that. It's not everything, but it is the majority of the actual curriculums we're using. So then what I do is for every month, I put the month and the child's name, and then I put the weeks here, and then I write in some of what we do. So I write in some of what we did for language arts. Now this says the good and the beautiful, pages, blah, 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 blah. And so that says what we did for language arts was that. Now, we may have done alphaphonics, we may have done flashcards, we may have done spelling bingo or word bingo or whatever. And so we may have done a creative writing thing, but it's not all on here for me. It would just be way too much to fit in here. So that's what I do. I kind of condense it a little bit for that. So every single month, like I said, is going to have one of those. And some months we did more, like December. We took 3 weeks off, so we only have 1 week in there. Now, during those 3 weeks we took off, 2 of those weeks we actually did Christmas schooling along with this first week, but we didn't do a ton. So we did more of like hands-on stuff, like baking and things like that, which I consider school, but it doesn't have to be on there, because you have to just show a log of educational activities. So, I mean, for us, that's kind of like our way of life. So it would be everything all day long. So I just kind of pick and choose what I put on there. Okay, so after the log of every week, and by the way, I fill these out at the end of every week because it's so much easier than trying to go back and remember when we did that and when we did this. And I also add in pictures or videos of whatever we did that week if I have them. So if they're like, we've built a volcano one week, if we have a picture or a video of the volcano exploding and the kids' reaction and stuff, then I will add that in there so that they can kind of see that's a sample of work. Okay, so then I have a blank page here which says Jenna Pla reading log. And so what I do for that is I use an app called the Book List app, and it's an Apple, I don't know if it's Android either, but it's on my iPad. And what that does is it allows me to scan in their books, and not sponsors, by the way, at all. It allows me to scan in their books that they read, and it allows me to create different lists. So I can create a list for Jenna, a list for Joey that are separate. I do use Goodreads as well because we do read a ton of books, but I found with Goodreads, I have a harder time separating out what each of them has read individually and what I have read with them. So I kind of am able to separate it a little more with the book list app. Maybe that's just user error because I mean, that's been known to happen to me. But I don't know. So that's what I use. And I'll try to insert a picture here of what it looks like. Okay, so for samples of their work, like I said, I put in pictures, videos, and things like that, but I also have actual samples of their work. I got this, I think I got it from Walmart, and it's just like a little accordion file. And so what I do is I have Jenna's first quarter, Joey's first quarter, Jenna's second, third, Joey's second, third, and fourth quarter. So every quarter I pick, a sample from the major, I guess, core curriculum activities. So like writing or handwriting, language arts, spelling, math, science, whatever. And so like, trying to see what I got in here. Okay. So like this is one of my daughter's worksheets from the beginning of the year, and she had to do it independently. So what I will do with these is I will go ahead and I will take a picture of them and I will attach them in on my computer, because normally what I do is I email the portfolio to their evaluator. That's how she prefers things, so that's normally what I do. And I will just give her a couple of samples for each quarter of the year. And that's what she prefers and that's what she likes. And then I will keep them. Once I am done with the school year, I will take them and I will staple them to the physical copy of their portfolios that I keep, and I will staple them, and then I have a file for them below my desk. I have like a little file box and I put them in there, and you have to keep them for 2 years in the state of Florida, so that's where I keep mine. I also usually will email a copy to myself just in case something happens where, God forbid our house burns down, which God forbid it, but and my computer was there and the box for the files was there, and so then what do? I don't have any of their portfolios for the last couple of years, so what I have is a copy in my email. So that's what I do, and I believe Jessica from the Waldock Way is who kind of mentioned something like that as a way to keep it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she was where I heard that, which I thought was brilliant, and so I've been doing that ever since I heard that. So that is pretty much it, guys. That is what I do for our portfolio. It's super easy, especially if you fill it out every week. It just becomes a habit. And when I am planning my next week, I kind of go ahead and just type that in. That way I don't have to worry about it. I know that it's always there, up to date. And I don't have to be like at the end of the school year when they're ready for their evaluations, be like, oh my gosh, now I have to go back through my whole planner and figure out when we did this and what we did this and find pictures and find, stuff for the whole portfolio, because it can become super overwhelming. And that's just the easiest way. I like to keep things super simple so that it is not a ton of work on me. Because as you know, as a mother, as a father, as a parent, you have enough to do, especially if you're homeschooling, and working, which I am, and my husband also works more than full time. And so it's a lot of stuff. So definitely do whatever you can to make it easier on you. And like I said, make sure that you know what you need to have, because you researched it yourself. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Go and find out for sure what it is that you need for your state requirements so that you can be successful in your homeschooling. And I hope this helped you. I hope that you understand that it's not super scary to have an evaluation. One last thing I want to say is, when you are looking for an evaluator, at least in the state of Florida, definitely try to find someone who is super homeschool friendly, as far as they've actually homeschooled before, because I feel like it gives them a perspective that not everybody has. And if you get the wrong evaluator, I feel like it just doesn't it doesn't always go as well as planned. So if you're looking for somebody, I have someone that I know does evaluations in the whole state of Florida, and she's amazing. She's been doing it for like 25 years, I want to say, and her husband and her both work together. Not sponsored at all. I just really love her because she's amazing, and she's super helpful. If you have any questions about the state of Florida requirements or things like that, she is very, very knowledgeable. And so I'll just go ahead and link her website down below, and just try to be picky and choosy about who you get to evaluate. I will say that because I haven't experienced it, but I've had friends who have gotten evaluators who try to require more than the state of Florida does and things like that. They don't really know what they're doing because they just aren't used to dealing with homeschoolers, especially right like in this time frame that we're in, where a lot of people are new to homeschooling. They may or may not know, there's a lot of people that are needed to evaluate, so they may or may not know and be familiar with what you need and what exactly they need to ask for and get, and not, sometimes they think they need more than they do. Same things with school systems, by the way, but don't get me started on that. So anyways, all that being said, if I can put together a portfolio, be successful, and my kids can pass their evaluations, so can you. I promise. You guys have everything you need. You will have everything you need by God. You're fully equipped to teach your children everything they need to know. Don't forget that. If I can do it, you can do it for sure. Have a good week, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.